Welcome everybody. It's Scott here from Woke Society's here to drop another episode of content for you. We're going to get into everything that I wanted to get out yesterday. As you guys know, I was supposed to have an episode out yesterday afternoon. It just did not work out. My head was in a million different places, and I'm going to catch up everybody on what's been going on in my personal life. And I recorded this episode twice. The first time the audio just went, I have no idea what happened. And then the second time, the audio was perfect and the computer crashed and I didn't get to save it before and the backup file wasn't there. And by then it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I didn't even upload it yet. Didn't want to, it takes like an hour and a half to spread the video everywhere to get it noticed. And I just didn't want to deal with it. I was already overwhelmed with what's going on with work. And here I am. So I'm going to stay as positive as possible, people. And I just want to catch up everybody on what's going on. So everyone knows about this coronavirus. Everyone's talking about it. It's completely dominated the news. It's in every facet of society at this point, and it's affecting everything. Sports venues are like, I think basketball, they're talking about the NBA. They might be playing with empty arenas with the teams on the court. No one's allowed in. Music events, Coachella is being postponed. Cruise lines are tanking. No one wants to travel. It's affecting everything. And honestly, at this point, the fear is causing more damage than this actual virus itself. And it's absolutely infuriating and disgusting to me that we all know what this virus is about. It's a real virus. There's no doubt about it. But this is the equivalent to a flu. This isn't the Black Plague. And I want people to realize that. This is being fueled. This whole entire thing is being politicized and used to hurt Trump and our economy. That is what this is being used for. And the media is 110% to fucking blame for all of this crap that's going on right now. And I try not to curse, but I've been super emotional the last 2 days, day and a half. And it's now affecting my job. And if you guys don't know, I might not have told you, I haven't been completely open as to what I do for work, only because a little paranoia is mixed in with there. You never know who's watching this, but I do vending machines. I have a vending machine route. I service commercial vending machines. I do coffee machines. I do fresh food. I do a bunch of things. It's great money. It's a great job. And the reason why it's great money is because my main accounts are 2 state prisons. I take care of the machines for the visitors that come to the prisons, and the prisoners, there's visitations almost every single day. So the money, we make commission off those machines, and the money is fantastic because they're open every single day. That's why I work 6 days a week, including weekends and holidays. This is exactly why I only have that Friday off, because you can't work every day, but I work 6 days a week. So the problem that I could be running into at this point, as we're going to get into the articles here, a lot of places are closing. Their schools closing, which are affecting our other drivers that have routes that take care of high schools and colleges. And we're hearing things about a bunch of schools telling kids not to come back from spring break, and they're going to be doing online courses. But the problem with me is right now is that the local jails are starting to close, which, was a little alarming to me because they're not state. I have state prisons that I have. Those are my main accounts. And now the other guy that takes care of, there's 2 prison routes. I'm on one. The other guy takes care of the other ones. The other guy right now, his one prison out of the 3 that he takes care of is closing down for 30 days. And this is just temporary. It could be more. But the thing is, the income that me and this other guy make for our branch alone is 1/3 of the income for our entire branch. So usually when one prison does one thing like this, the rest are going to follow suit. And I got a talk with my manager today. He's been completely open and honest about everything, which has been great. I really appreciate it, but he was real and just pretty much said, worst case scenario, we're going to try to avoid this as much as possible, but there could be possible layoffs because the payroll has to match the income. And if the prisons go down even for a month, it's going to be devastating to our branch. And the effects of this virus now are reaching home here. And I am the main source of income for my family. My wife does help a little bit. She does work on the side, but it's to help a little bit so she can stay home to take care of my son. That's how we have it set up right now. And it's put a lot of stress on my plate, and I don't know what's going to happen. These 30-day, my prisons have not been shut down as of yet. But to be honest, it's probably only a matter of time because the COs can't get sick. The prisoners certainly can't get sick. It'll cause a gigantic mess. And it's going to hit hard with the income. If this does happen, even for a month, even if it's 2 months, it's going to be a huge struggle. The thing is, I want to let you guys know the videos are never going to stop. I'm never going to stop doing this unless something happens to me physically. But it's going to keep rolling. The show is going to keep rolling. But I want to catch up everybody on the things that have been going in my life because I feel like I owe it to everybody and to be open and completely honest with you guys 100% of the time. And I just want to catch everybody up to let everyone know what's going on. So I had that talk with my manager today. They're going to try to figure everything out to keep me somewhat employed without having to be laid off. We have a big meeting tomorrow with the supervisors and the managers to go over what is going to be the plan of action in case this does happen, because this is not just affecting me, it's affecting so many other people at this point. And I was messaging my buddy Sean here, I'm angry. I'm very angry, and I'm mostly angry at the media for what they're doing. They truly do not care about the American people. They could give two shits about us. There's 1,000 cases supposedly confirmed that have this virus, which is equivalent to the flu, and most of the people that have been dying from this flu have been in their 70s and 80s with already compromised immune systems. And there is a worldwide panic right now. Outright panic. And I'm not saying not to take precautions. This virus is real, but it's not the fucking plague. And now it's affecting myself and friends and family. And it's just, if this virus does go away in a month or two, I hope to God Trump burns down the fucking media. Completely goes scorched earth and burns them to the ground. Because we already know they're completely full of it. But they are now causing problems directly in my life because the shit that's going on the internet, it's all being fueled by the media. It's all over sports radio. It's all anyone can talk about right now. It's all they can talk about. So I just want to get that out there. I don't have to keep going on and on about it. But now you guys know where I'm coming from and where I've been. Been dealing with a lot of crap lately. I'll bring this down to PG, but so there's that. So let's just, now we can get back into a regular show. So that was my negative spin. That was me venting this all out. So let's get into the show, shall we? So as we all know, we're going to get into the content. So as you guys know, the YouTube Woke Society's page is here. Like, share, comment, get this out to friends and family. Please get this out organically. You guys are the reason. You guys are the sponsors of this show. You're the ones that are getting this going to where it needs to be. So do that for me. And great news. This is something that made me happy. My store is officially open. It's open. It's been open since Monday. And this is the first video that I'm putting it in. It's going to be in the link below, but I got some pretty cool stuff and it's only going to expand as we grow. I love the Woke Society's mug here. Some awesome Weinstein glasses, not Weinstein, Beerstein glasses, but that could be something that could be coming out in the future if Weinstein does kill himself. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, we got a bunch of new products here. We got the Pepe mug, which I absolutely love. Some Q coasters, a shift stir spoon. So all that is there now, guys. And eventually I'm going to have the hats, shirts, and t-shirts, and we're going to have all the Q gear and all the woke swag that you could possibly buy. So that is there as well. My wokesocieties.com webpage, which is all you can see here with the podcasting links. My Patreon, if you guys want to become a patron, as little as $1 a month, it supports the show. And you guys can also go to my BitChute if you hate YouTube and big tech. And if you guys want to make a one-time donation, one-time gift to the show, you guys can go right here to my paypal.me at Woke Societies and send the show a complete gift. And I just want everybody to know right now, all these proceeds are going directly into the show. This is not going into personal accounts or anything like that. Even if I do get laid off, we'll have to tackle that later on. But I just want to reassure you guys, this is not a money grab by any means. I am always 100% honest with you guys. This isn't some sob story to get money out of anybody. This is very real, and this is what's going on. So there you have it. So let's jump into the content finally, right? It's only been 10 minutes. So yesterday, this is what I wanted to get into, and this is from Sean Hannity. Breaking: New York State to deploy National Guard, set up coronavirus containment area. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced Tuesday the deployment of the National Guard to New Rochelle, New York, to stop the spread of the coronavirus in that city, which he described as the most significant cluster in the country. Those measures include deploying National Guard troops to a health department command post and setting up a satellite testing facility and 1 mile containment area in the city. To date, Westchester County has seen 108 confirmed COVID-19 cases. That's a 58% of all tri-state cases, reports NBC New York. New Rochelle is about an hour away from where I live. It's in Rockland County. It's a 45-minute drive, to be honest, to get to New Rochelle. So this is very close to home. New Rochelle is home to Midtown Manhattan lawyer who has been linked to dozens of cases across multiple states. He was the second confirmed case in the state and its first instance of community spread, adds NBC. You calibrate your response to the time and the facts and the circumstances in that place at that time, Cuomo said on CNN. So parades, etc., we look at that on a daily basis. This is a developing story. Check back for updates. So I'm going to get into the reasons why I think this is a big deal. In particular to the National Guard being here. I haven't heard of anywhere else in the country that the military or the National Guard is being deployed to set up containment areas. But as the weeks and days go on, I'm sure this is going to start popping up everywhere. But the whole entire thing, I was trying to think, like, with this virus, because people are throwing around these theories that Q is behind this. Maybe Q wanted this virus to get out, to take out deep state actors, which I do think is happening. But it's not like Q deployed operators into the field and just released the virus in Wuhan, and that's where it all began. I don't think that's what happened. I believe they foresaw some kind of attack from the deep state that would go after the world economy and specifically the American economy, which has taken its effect. The deep state has to be pleased right now with the effect that this virus has caused. The stock market's down, and it's affecting supply lines. It is affecting things. Don't get me wrong. And this is the equivalent to the flu, this virus. Just remember that. But the thing is, a lot of these people that are being affected by this virus are like high-ranking members, mostly in Italy and Iran. You have I think it was the vice president in Iran that got sick with the coronavirus, confirmed case. There was a top medical official in Iran that got sick. It's like, how in the world, how are these people not in closed off bubble rooms just to take a precaution? How are they getting sick? You know? So you start thinking, like, maybe the deep state had a little backfire as to who these viruses were affecting. And I do believe that Q is using right now this whole entire situation to do silent operations undercover while everyone's worried about the coronavirus. I do believe that. So again, I'm not saying Q started this whole virus, because that is a theory that I saw that I absolutely do not believe. They would not intentionally harm patriots. That is not something I'm saying at all. So let's get into here some of the other things I wanted to show you guys. So this was a picture taken yesterday. Building National Guard. You may be able to see the top part of it, but it's okay. Building National Guard deployed to New Rochelle. The local police, CDC, and National Guard have a perimeter surrounded at the Huguenot building. Helicopters all around town. Deep State Central. Floors 4, 6, and 7 are U.S. Health Department. And guess what? If you guys add up 4, 6, and 7, that equals 17. Does it mean anything? I doubt it. But I thought it was cool to throw in there. But either way, there is a lot of activity not far from where I live. And things seem to be heating up. And now I want to bring you guys to these Q drops here. Now we're going far back, as far as drop number 1. And this is why I believe there are other things going on here that we aren't seeing. This is drop number 1, Hillary Clinton extradition. Let me read this. So this is October 28th, 2017. Hillary Clinton will be arrested between 7:45 a.m. 8:30 a.m. on Monday, the morning on October 30th, 2017. HRC extradition already in motion, effective yesterday, with several countries in case of cross-border run. Passport approved to be flagged effective 10:30 at 12:01 a.m. Expect massive riots organized in defiance and others fleeing the U.S. to occur. U.S. militaries will conduct the operation while National Guard activated. Proof check. Locate a National Guard member and ask if activated for duty 10:30 across most cities. Now, why am I reading this post here from all the first Q drop ever from October 28th in regards to Hillary Clinton being extradited? Well, what else does Q say in their drops? Q says, think mirror. Think mirror. So when I remember that, I looked at 1030 here. If you reverse 1030 and if you were to look at the number 1030 in the mirror, you would see 310 or 3010. But in for my case here that I'm trying to show everybody, it would be 310, which would be March 10th, which would have been yesterday. And we got the news that Cuomo was setting up these containment areas in New Rochelle, and which is in Westchester County. And the Clintons also live in Westchester County. And I'm going to show you a map in just a moment. Oh, that's not cool. I want to show you guys. Let me get it up here real quick. Oh, no, not a problem. Okay. I'm going to find drop 3 here. And here it is. So I want to read you guys drop 3. I'm going to read it right from here. Operation Mockingbird, priority to clean out the bad actors to unite people behind the America First agenda. Many in our government worship Satan, not about Republicans versus Democrats at the stage. Where is HRC? Why is the National Guard called up across 12 cities? Trust in your president. God bless Patriots. Now, I'm bringing this up because this was drop 3. This was the next day in regards to National Guard being called up across 12 cities. And again, I'm just going to go back here. I want people to remember that the people that are saying this is taking too long. Priority to clean out the bad actors to unite people behind the America First agenda. So when this had all started, I don't even think we were close to where we were now as far as trust in Trump. Q had just come around, so none of this, the world was turned upside down when Trump won. It really was. And now we're here in 2020, and it definitely feels like the patriotism has come back to this country, where we are feeling again America first, and we are slowly getting there. But again, it takes time to uproot this decades and decades of corrupt politicians. But why is the National Guard called up across 12 cities? And when I go back to this article here, this was a containment area. This is New Rochelle. The National Guard has been released there, and they now have a containment area. And if you look at a map, New Rochelle's right in here, and where the Clintons live are in Chappaqua, which is right here, not too far. So when I heard the National Guard was coming in, I was like, oh boy. It reminded me to check out these Q posts, and maybe, just maybe, I'm not saying Hillary's getting arrested, I'm not saying any of that, but there could be other unsealed indictments, other bad actors, low-level bad actors that are getting arrested in the midst of all this, of these military lockdowns and containment areas. And don't be surprised if this starts happening in other cities. Don't be surprised. So I believe New York is the first one. New York is the first one to start doing this. And it wouldn't surprise me if this starts happening again in other major cities like San Francisco, Chicago. Maybe the Q team and Trump are using this as these silent missions, the silent operations to go undercover and get these actors. And the reason why I'm saying this now, let me go back to the most original Q drops. This was 38.91 from March 9th. Nothing can stop what is coming. And again, this was a screenshot of Dan Scavino of the meme here with Trump, as you guys can see here. My next piece is called Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming. And if you guys were following on Twitter, Trump retweeted this. He actually retweeted this picture and said, I don't know what this means, but I like it. Don't know what it means, but he likes it. I'm just waiting for the day that someone's gonna ask him the question, because it's so obvious now. It's just so obvious. But I look at these Q drops here. Nothing can stop what is coming. Rig for Red, and the last time, if you guys remember, Rig for Red was used for the submarine Q drop, where Q said they were going to be going silent or going dark for a while, as a submarine would when they go underwater and perform their stealth missions. And 3892 here, the Obama-Biden administration is the most corrupt administration in the history of our country. And Q wrote, silent running is a tactic used when, it says Q. I think the end of the sentence is when there's a world pandemic, and I'm saying that now because that's what the WHO declared earlier today, that this coronavirus is a world pandemic. And this is what Q is using as a cover to go after deep state actors. Now, obviously, there's no proof of this. Obviously, no proof, but from what they're dropping and the things that I'm seeing, these are the observations that I'm making. So we'll have to see what happens. Because, again, Q has not said anything about this virus at all. Nothing, and Trump does not seem worried, and that's why I'm not worried. The thing is, guys, this thing is going to probably pass in about a month or two, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So there's that. There's that. So let's look at just this quick article. There's some articles here to brighten up a little bit. This was an op-ed about Al Hallison, a molecular antibiotics major MIT success. Research by MIT has applied AI to antibiotics and speaking volumes about this line of attack. A new AI-based project has found low toxicity molecular antibiotics that kill some of the world's worst bacteria. And that's all I have highlighted here. So this computer's been acting crazy today, but tests indicate that the new antibiotic Hallison, after the HAL, the computer in 2001: A Space Odyssey, killed even MRSA bacteria resistant to all known antibiotics. Even more impressively, Hallison was originally developed as a diabetes treatment, so it wasn't really on the radar as an antibiotic. The anti-mitochondrial approach may well be a good broad-spectrum approach to treating infections. Low toxicity adds excellent value when treating at-risk patients who may have compromised immune systems or other serious conditions, reducing their ability to recover. These conditions make the infection so much more dangerous. A general kill the bugs anywhere, anytime capability could be an excellent all-around asset for patient management and recovery. AI proves its point. This is an indicator of the inherent values of AI and machine learning in a whole new context. The high-value research can now be done in days, not years. AI can process and assess hundreds of millions of compounds quickly. And I just find it fascinating this article comes out now that, again, my view on all of this with this coronavirus is it's going to line the pockets of the Bill Gates Foundation. It's going to line the pockets of all the people of the companies that are going to be making the tests for coronavirus, and also the vaccines. It's going to drive those prices. It's going to make so much money for those people. And you always have to think about that. This, again, is a virus that came out on an election year, just like the previous years in our history. But we'll have to see what happens. But it is good that there are machine learning, there good AI that's coming up with quicker ways to find cures and compounds than we could as humans ourselves. But again, there's also a dark side to this. If the machines, again, get too smart, can they come up with a compound to make a super virus that can take out the entire world in just a matter of months before we even have time to catch up? So there is that. I know I'm super emotional today, so I'm making everything seem dark and dreary, but it is what it is. You guys will have to deal with it. So here we go. Some other good news. Over 50,000 people have recovered from coronavirus around the world, according to Johns Hopkins. As cases of the new coronavirus continue to climb, so have instances of recovery, and a tracker maintained by Johns Hopkins University reported that more than 50,000 people have recovered. More than 94,000 people have become infected with the coronavirus, which causes the disease COVID-19 since it was first identified in December. With the increased spread, case counts, and deaths, public concern has driven people to hoard supplies, but health officials maintain that the threat of contracting the virus and the chances of coming down with the disease remain low for the average person. As of Wednesday morning, the Johns Hopkins tracker showed 94,225 cases of the virus in 73 countries. Of those cases, 51,000 people recovered, including the 49,000 in mainland China. Outside of China, where the virus originated, has taken the biggest toll. Large outbreaks have been seen in Italy and Iran, and that's what I was talking about before. It was just curious as to why those two countries of all have been hit the hardest. The outbreaks prompted the WHO to send experts into the infected areas, and on Saturday, Vice President Mike Pence announced that in light of the outbreaks, the U.S. was barring foreign nationals from entering America if they had visited Iran within 14 days. The U.S. also increased travel warnings to a level 4 advisory for the Italian regions of Lombardy, and news of the virus has already lowered travel demands, causing airlines to reduce flights and prompted runs on stores for protective supplies such as face masks and hand sanitizer, which is, you really can't find it. Actually, that's not true. Some stores still have it. From the outset, health officials have sought to strike a balance between stressing the importance of taking the outbreak seriously and accurately conveying the threat to the virus poses to the public. So just some quick financial advice. Don't take this to heart. Just throw it out there. If you guys have any extra money laying around, you want to buy travel stock or airline stock right now, it's going to be super low. Because once the economy is back and the stock market's back up, guess what's going to happen? All those stocks are going to shoot right back up. So if you got some extra money to throw around right now, investing in the airplane market or the travel market right now might not be a bad idea. Just throwing it out there. So we have some good news, everybody. And this is what I'm talking about. So the things started getting really bad in China. Think about the timeline. We first heard about this virus at the end of December. And it started going off like crazy in January and then February. And here we are in the beginning of March, and they're already seeing people recovering. So right now it's here in the U.S. Things are ramping up here. So think about late April, early May, same time frame of what we're looking at. And then the summer's coming. And we know Trump said once things get a little bit warmer, it's going to affect the virus. And Q also said this summer and spring is going to be very hot. And that could have multiple meanings. So there is some good news. There is some good news out there, and I want to just show everybody that this isn't all negative. There are things to be happy about. And I want to throw this in here from the Daily Mail. They're talking about banks here already setting up ways for their customers to defer payments on their mortgage up to 3 months because of the virus. And this is a National Western Royal Bank of Scotland. The RBS has said it would also waive early closure charges on fixed savings accounts. Banks will offer refunds on credit card cash advance fees to affected customers. The bank said customers could apply for increased temporary credit card limits. So we may start seeing things like this over here, and there's already rumors going around that there is a financial reset looming. The NESARA, right? That I've talked about in previous episodes. So we'll have to see what happens, but this is a good sign of things to come maybe. But you know, these financial resets just can't happen over time. The Fed is right now a huge foundation of our banks. There's people that depend on Social Security, those benefits. You can't just rip those away from people and just start fresh. That takes time. That's why I believe Trump is doing this incrementally, getting small win after small win after small win, and eventually the big change will end up coming. He has to chip away at it because you can't just rip these things out overnight. So there's that. And Trump, I just want to throw this in here. The Washington Post tweeted, Trump may address nation tonight from the Oval Office, and it's in regards to the coronavirus cases topping 1,000. 1,000 people that have died who are mostly in their 80s that already had compromised immune systems. Think about how many people live in the country, people. 1,000 people, and we're having all of this outrage. And I know it has a lot to do with the global economy and the global markets. People are freaked out. They don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's freaking out. But this is why it's frustrating to me. 1,000 cases. When this turns out to be just another flu and it gets cured and this goes to the wayside, people are going to remember this virus. So is the deep state going to are they going to have a chance to play a card like this again? And people are going to be like, oh, we already seen this before. I don't know. So let's switch gears back to the Daily Mail. You guys always know I'm going to keep you updated on Prince Andrew, anything Epstein, because I will never let the story die, and neither should anybody else. So we have Prince Andrew here. This is a quote here from the victim's attorney saying, he is a hypocrite. He's torturing Jeffrey Epstein's victims by offering to speak to U.S. authorities, then shutting the door, claims the lawyer. Prince Andrew's failure to speak to the FBI is inflicting more pain and suffering on Jeffrey Epstein's victims who feel like they are in a torture chamber, their lawyer has claimed today. Gloria Allred, who represents 5 women who were allegedly abused by the Duke of York's pedophile friend, has revealed she sent a letter to the Royals' Windsor home urging him to help the authorities, but has not had any reply. Miss Allred also believes that claims Andrew has not been contacted by the authorities and the U.S. are false. She said this is so hypocritical on the part of Prince Andrew. There is this drip, drip, drip in this torture chamber where he says he will speak to them, then he won't, then he will with conditions. This does nothing but inflict more pain and suffering on the victims. And remember, back in the summer, he said he was more than willing to talk to authorities, to the FBI. But now things got really sketchy, and I'm about to show you why. I understand he has been, this is again the lawyer. I understand he has been contacted by the authorities. I sent a letter to his home in December on behalf of the victims asking him to speak to the FBI. He doesn't have to come here. He can speak to them in the UK. The Duke of York has completely shut the door on cooperating voluntarily with U.S. investigators over the Jeffrey Epstein case, a top New York prosecutor said yesterday. And this is where it gets really weird. His extraordinary broadside came days after details emerged of the high-powered legal team he just assembled as the FBI continues to investigate his close association with Epstein. He is being advised by the extradition expert Claire Montgomery QC, who previously fought to keep Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet from facing justice. This is why there is this. We already know this guy's sketchy as hell. We already know that. We know he's got involvings with Epstein, and it would probably end up getting himself arrested if he did tell the truth, because we know what he did. We know what he did. But when you hire this, if you guys don't know who Claire Montgomery is, he is if you're going to hire somebody to be your lawyer to keep you from getting extradited, he is the top guy on that part of the world to do so. And now this is part of Andrew's legal team to keep the FBI at bay and to keep hiding. And you have these victims here who want justice, and he said he was willing to help, and now he's backtracking. So obviously, if he was willing to help, he had nothing to hide. He would have gotten this over with when the story broke that Epstein was arrested and there was connections. You know, this would have been all done and said. But he let go of his royal duties. He stepped down, and now he's just plain hiding, like a coward, because he probably did the same exact things that Epstein was into, and we all know that. So there's that. So that is the update for that. And I'm not going to get into this entire next article I have here. It's from worldtruth.tv. And there's no way I can confirm this case, but it looks very, very real. So that quick disclosure here, guys, before I read about what this is about. The title of this article here is European Royals Allegedly Killing Children in Human Hunting Parties. And I tie this in with Epstein because, you know, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he was doing these things with his elite buddies there. But this is one in a series of articles taken from eyewitness testimony before the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels. 5 international judges are examining evidence of child rape, torture, murder, and kidnapping allegedly done by global elite members of the Ninth Circle Satanic Child Sacrifice Cult Network. Regular Ninth Circle child sacrifices were said to take place in the catacombs of Catholic cathedrals, the Vatican, and private estates, and groves and government military bases in Belgium, Holland, Spain, Australia, Ireland, France, England, and the U.S. At least 34 child mass grave sites were identified in Ireland, Spain, and Canada and refused excavation by the respective governments, Crown of England, and Catholic Church. Absolutely disgusting. So we have teens were drugged, stripped naked, raped, hunted down in the woods, and killed by European royals, according to this week's latest eyewitnesses to testify before the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels. The woman was the fourth eyewitness to give accounts about these human hunting parties of the global elite Ninth Circle Satanic Child Sacrifice Cult Network. And the rest of this article is all the quotes from people and the things they saw. It's a lot. There's videos of things that they saw. I'm not going to get into this because I don't know how YouTube will react to this video. And there is contact information to reach out to. It looks like email, phone numbers for Canada and the US, and just people that are involved in this investigation. So it looks very real, but these are the things that the media will not touch. The mainstream media will not touch because it would be too upsetting, way too upsetting to the masses. Can you imagine telling people, yeah, these sick satanic worshiping people hunt children. They hunt children and do God knows whatever else with them. And this is the true story that what lies beneath with Epstein. It wasn't just the pedophilia. They were doing way worse things than just having sex with underage girls and boys. So there's that. But I know I took it from a good place to a dark place, but here we are. Let's bring it back to a good place. Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 23 years in prison, and that was just for the New York charges. He is now being extradited to California to face his charges there. So this man is going to rot in jail for the rest of his life if he makes it that far. But chances are that he won't. And the funny thing is, the two jails that I take care of, there were rumors that he was going to be taken out of Rikers and transferred to one of the jails that I actually take care of. And the CEOs were talking about it. They were talking to me about it. None of them want him anywhere near their jail because they know how many resources are going to be put into just watching him alone and keeping him safe. And, you know, some of them did say that if something were to happen to him, and they could just turn their backs. And, you know, would it really surprise you? Pedophiles and rapists don't really last too long in the jails that I take care of. And trust me, I've seen 3 or 4 rolled out in body bags out of the front of these jails, and a couple of them were pedos. Saw it myself. Didn't see them die, but I saw them rolled out in body bags. It makes you feel very human in that moment. And it's not something you like to see. So we got that. Harvey Weinstein, this is a huge blow to Hollywood, and I hope it sets a precursor to all the other pedophiles, the politicians that are out there that are in this shit. Sends a message that you are not safe anymore. Not with this administration. You're going to pay the price at some point. So we did get some justice. We finally got some justice. This isn't the one that I believe Q was talking about when they said that the first arrest is going to shock the world. This is good, but it's not in the level of either a Soros, Obama, or Hillary. Not at that level. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So let's tie up the show here. I want to show you guys this. This is from Dave Rubin. This is from yesterday, and this is about Joe Biden here, this piece of shit. Joe Biden here is in some, I don't know what, he's in some shop, union shop. And if you guys have noticed, Biden really hasn't done any offset interviews. He's stuck very to his script. His PR team has to be I don't know how much they're getting paid, but they have to be getting paid pretty well to manage what this man says, because now at this point with Biden, no one's watching him to listen to what he has to say. They're only listening to him to see what he says because they want to see him mess up a word and just make a fool of himself with his own words. That's where we're at with him now. So I want to play this video. It's worth the minute and 42 seconds. Let's watch this union worker grill Joe Biden, and you guys are going to hear his reaction and see how nasty he gets. Here we go.
Union workers that have been working countless hours under the Trump administration, I'd like you to explain how you plan to not only keep us working, but how you intend on getting the union vote when there's a large portion of the union workers that are gun enthusiasts, and you are actively trying to diminish your Second Amendment right and take away our guns.
You're full of shit.
All right, thank you.
No, shush. Shush.
He looks right at the man and says, "You're full of shit." And his PR girl behind him knows this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good. This is going to be bad publicity. And he tells her to shush. Super demeaning. He says it twice. Now let's hear the rest of it.
I support the Second Amendment. Second Amendment, just like right now, if you yell fire, that's not free speech.
from the very beginning. I have a shotgun, I have a 20 gauge, a 12 gauge. My sons hunt. Guess what? You're not allowed to own any weapon. I'm not taking your gun away at all. You need 100 rounds.
So when you were with Beto, when you said you're going to take our guns,
I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that.
It's a viral video.
It's a viral video like the other ones they're putting out there. They're simply a lie.
Your voice, you said that you're taking the guns.
Well, he just clarified it.
Wait. Take your AR-14s and what?
Okay,
We're gonna take your AR-14s. This is exactly. This is exactly right there. We're gonna take your AR-14s. You moron, it's a 15, AR-15. That right there is why people are watching to see this man soil himself every single day.
this is not okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Hey, let's
Don't tell me to do that.
There's a lot of guys.
You're
wanting.
me, man.
I'm not worried.
And by the way, if you guys didn't catch it, he said, let's take this outside. That's what Biden just said to this man here. Unbelievable.
So much.
Give me a break, man. Don't be such a
You're
horsey
pushing
guy.
up on me.
Hey, there's a lot of
Hey.
Speak to Joe.
Look, here's the deal.
Go ahead, go.
Here's the deal. Are you able to own a machine gun?
Why on the machine?
I said, are you able to own one? I'm the law.
Machine guns are illegal.
That's right. So AR-15's illegal.
How is that in the machine guns?
No, it's not.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah, do you need 100 rounds? Do you need 100 rounds?
In America from handguns than there are what you call assault rifles. Why are you advocating for assault rifles when people are dying by handguns?
Hey, enough. Come on.
Do you hear what he said? This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's so important that we have Trump in office right now. Biden right there said, do you need 100 rounds? Do you need that? They want to slowly chip away at our Second Amendment rights. He can sit there and say that all he wants, that he supports our Second Amendment rights, but he straight up said he was going to make Beto O'Rourke his man on gun policy. His man on gun policy. And the union worker said, do you realize that handguns are the most used in these violent acts, and you want to go after our assault rifles, our rifles? And when he said that, what does Joe Biden do? He walks away. He walks away because he can't handle it. He knows. It's scary times, guys, and thank God Trump won in 2016, because who would have known what we would be through right now? Imagine having 3 years with Hillary. Who knows how many wars we could be in with so many countries, and then this virus hits. Do you guys see how important this all is? You guys have to keep the faith. We're going to keep the faith. We're going to stay positive. Everything is going to work itself out. We're going to, when we get past all this, we're going to look at this and laugh and be like, another sorry attempt by the deep state to F things all up for us. We're going to get through this virus. We're going to get through this election. Everything is going to work itself out. And I want to end this episode on a positive note. So there is that. Thank you all so much for everything that you have given me, all the support that you've given this channel since I started. We are growing every day. The podcast is growing every day. The live streams are only going to get better. The store is open. And this channel, as from where it started to where it is now, I never saw it growing as fast as it was. And all of it is because of you guys. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, for me and my family, because this is what I come home. This is what I come home to and now enjoy. Before, I come home and enjoy my son and play some video games, just living life. But now I have something that I truly, truly love. And of course, I love my family. That's not what I'm saying. But this is a second facet of my life that I absolutely enjoy. And I want to thank you all for coming along the journey with me and just listening out there to everything that I have to say. So with that, thank you all. Don't forget to like the episode, share, like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends and family about this channel. And let's keep it growing. Go to my store here if you guys want to check out all the merch, all the cups, mugs, the Shift Stirred, our Q coasters, Pepe mug, and if you guys want this sick Woke Society's mug, that is everything. All this stuff is for sale. It's all for sale. So check it out. Go to my podcast here, my Patreon if you guys want to sign up to be a patron, and of course my backup channel, BitChute, as always. So with that, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see what the rest of the week brings. I'll keep everyone updated, of course. So follow me on social media. I'm on there every single day when I'm not doing videos. Follow me on there, and we'll see where the week takes us. So until then, stay woke.